get rid of some of that stuffing. Look at that purple. We'll go through what's in the box. Straighten that corner. Man, look at them babies. Wow. That is really sharp looking. So what comes in the box was the owner's manual. This looks like our back seat rest. Seat post, and it looks like a suspension shock seat post. Our battery charger with cord and manual. And it looks like we have a little bag of parts here. Some parts and an Allen wrench. Okay, here's everything that came in the box. I'm gonna pop some of the banding off here. Be careful when you're popping this banding off that you're not scratching the bike or hitting any of the wires, because that could be a problem. Take out some of this stuffing here. One thing to be mindful of when I pulled the backrest out of this blue bag, there are some loose screws and nuts in there, so just be mindful of that, you don't lose those. Okay, so our first step is to remove the back seat. So we have to take out the set screw and then slide the seat back so we can assemble the backrest. What I found was the best thing to do was I basically sat on the seat and pushed back, which then released the seat. So it was really tough because it was kind of just stuck on there. So I kept hitting here and pulling and prying, but when I sat on the seat and pushed myself back, it released it. So I guess that's probably gonna be the easiest way to get that off. At least that worked for me. The only way it looks like it's gonna line up is by lining up these two holes here with these two holes. Because look what happens if I slide it up here. If I want to catch these up here, it's going to interfere with putting the seat back on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put our washer and our nut on. So I'm just going to grab it underneath here, turn it till it's tight by hand, and then there's one more washer. Okay, it looks like this one here is just gonna screw right down, and it's pre-threaded there. Okay, that's our backrest. Okay, now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and get the seat back on here. And you can see here, this is where that set screw is gonna go after we get it on and locked in. That should line up, and it's going to come through here just so the seat doesn't pop back off. So let's go ahead and get that rolling here. Okay, there we go. That actually slid forward. Now it's all in position here. I can put that set screw back in. Okay, so this little handy tool gives me the ability to screw into a tight spot here. Okay. Sometimes the simplest little tool you got floating around, it saves you a ton of time and aggravation. Feels good to me. Okay, so we reattach that, got the seat on there. And that, folks, is how we get that back seat on and the backrest. The next thing we're gonna do is put the footrest on both sides. So this metal plate goes on, and then there's a plastic cover that goes on top of that. There's no nut, it's gonna screw directly in to the frame, and it's threaded, making sure everything's tightened down. Now these screws were on the frame of the bike, so I only needed to back them out and then screw them back in. And we also have our covers. That screws down. There you have it. Nice little spot for your foot. We'll do the same on the other side. Okay, it's really simple to fold and unfold the pedals. To fold them, you just push in and turn. And then to unfold them, you just pull out. Simple as that. So putting the seat on is really simple. The post was already attached to the seat. All we need to do is slide the seat post into the tube, select the desired height, and clamp it down. To avoid the seat post from sliding down, if you're clamping it and there's not a lot of resistance there, that seat post is gonna drop down as you're hitting bumps. So you're gonna wanna go ahead and tighten this down a little bit so that you feel some resistance, a decent amount when you're closing it. So just give it a couple of turns, get it to the desired height, and push it down. There you have it. Okay, so I have the battery charging. Now we're gonna take our display here, tip it up, we'll tighten it down,